Hi everyone, I'm Mark, and this is the 15-inch MacBook Air with the M3 chip. I've been using it for a couple of weeks now. This is my initial review. But first, some disclosure. I personally bought this laptop. All opinions are my own, and no company had editorial control over this video. For some context, this is my first experience with the MacBook Air. I usually get MacBook Pros for personal use, and I currently use a 14-inch MacBook Pro M3 Pro for work. Main reason why I bought this laptop is because I don't feel comfortable using my work laptop for personal use. The MacBook Air is also more affordable than the MacBook Pro, and it's not like I'm creating 2-hour movies, just mostly short-form videos for social media and simple YouTube videos that are less than 10 minutes. Before buying the laptop, I was thinking and mostly hoping the Air would be good enough for my needs. And after a couple of weeks of usage, I would say so. I went with the model that's 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigabytes of SSD storage. I don't think 8 gigabytes of RAM would be enough for me, so it's safer to get more RAM. I would have preferred 1 terabyte storage, but the store didn't have one in stock and I didn't want to wait a few more days, so settled for the 512 gigabytes of storage. Also save more money that way. I'll just be more mindful about clearing out my downloads folder or video files that I no longer need. The design is very similar to the MacBook Pro but thinner, same aluminum unibody casing, and it comes in 4 colors, but I went with Midnight, which looks really good. Apple says it has anodization seal to reduce fingerprints. I can still notice smudges and fingerprints on this laptop, especially outdoors or bright environments. I'm really happy with this 15-inch display, so even though on paper the more expensive 14-inch MacBook Pro has technically the better display with higher resolution, brighter display, and faster refresh rate, I actually prefer editing on this MacBook Air just because of the bigger screen. Also happy with the color, contrast, and brightness. I don't notice a major difference unless I probably put them side to side. I'm still not a fan of this notch on the display. It doesn't make sense to me. If Apple had Face Unlock on this laptop, then I wouldn't have cared, but no Face Unlock. There is fingerprint unlock on the power button, and if you have an Apple Watch, you could also use that to unlock the laptop. On a positive note, this camera is 1080p, which is a lot better than other laptops with 720p cameras. The left side of the MacBook Air has the power input and 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, which lets you connect an external display or 2 external displays, but with the lid closed. I just moved to a new apartment in a new country, so I don't have an external display yet to test this out. Still researching for the right monitor. Let me know if you have any recommendations for a 27-inch or 32-inch 4K display. The power adapter is also interesting. I'm used to seeing the bigger power brick from Apple, but the one here on the MacBook Air is smaller and it has dual USB slots, which is great for charging another device like my phone. It's like having another USB-C port on your laptop. The right side has the audio jack and nothing else. This actually surprised me. I was expecting an SD card slot, but it's not here. This means I would need to have an SD card reader dongle or connect my cameras directly to the MacBook Air when doing file transfers. For comparisons, the MacBook Pro has an SD card reader. The keyboard is fine if all you've used are MacBooks, but if you're coming from Windows laptops like Lenovo ThinkPads, then this keyboard will feel more shallow. However, I'm pretty happy with the layout, spacing. One thing I don't like here is that there's no key shortcut to adjust keyboard lighting. You're able to do this in the Mac settings instead. On the other hand, the auto settings are pretty dependable, so it's not like I need to adjust the keyboard lighting often. It's just weird not having a keyboard shortcut for it. The trackpad is very spacious and also very responsive to gestures. This one is one of those examples from Apple that just works. However, I still prefer to use an external mouse. It's more comfortable than the trackpad. I currently use the Logitech MX Master 3S. It's great and I highly recommend it for office and creative use. And of course, this runs on Mac OS. Everything has been running smoothly. I usually have multiple tabs on Chrome, checking emails, browsing the web, and watching YouTube videos. For editing videos, I use Premiere Pro, and just like my MacBook Pro at work, this laptop easily imports 4K videos and scrolls smoothly through the timeline. The differences here that I notice is that speech enhancement takes a bit longer to process. Exporting videos also seems a bit slower than my MacBook Pro. It's not noticeable on short form videos since those usually take less than a minute, but it's more noticeable on longer videos for YouTube. For example, a 6-minute 4K 4K video with color grading would take about 5 minutes to export for YouTube with the MacBook Air M3, while it would take about 3.5 minutes on the MacBook Pro M3 Pro. If you're a part-time content creator, that is not bad at all, but if you're a professional who edits and exports frequently, those times can add up. Those people would most likely be buying the MacBook Pro instead. Another feature on the MacBook that stands out is the battery life. This lasts at least a day. I can bring this to a coffee shop, edit a video without needing to plug in or worry about running out of battery. The MacBook Air M3 also is fanless, so you won't hear any noise under any workload. But then again, I've never heard the fans on my MacBook Pro either, and that laptop does have fans. If you prefer the Apple ecosystem, then the MacBook Air is a great laptop for casual and part-time content creators, as well for personal use. It costs less than the MacBook Pro, and it's also more bag-friendly because it's light and thin. If you don't plan on playing any games, then the MacBook Air is an easy recommendation. But if you do plan on playing games as well, then I'd suggest going with a Windows laptop instead, since you'll have better options there. Check out some of my other videos on this channel for some of my recommendations. So that's my review of the 15-inch MacBook Air with M3 chip. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much for watching.